So we are going to launch this image in the camera raw, and first I'll go for the auto and increase the exposure, lower down the contrast and lower down the highlights, or let's take the highlights to something like this, and increase the shadows. That way we'll be having more details in the shadow. And let's open up the black as well and increase the clarity and vibrance little bit, and lower down the saturation a little bit, and let's temperature towards the blue, and we can adjust the hue as well, but I don't want to. Let's come to the sharpening, increase the sharpening, increase the masking to something like this, and increase the luminance, and then come to the lens correction panel, and okay, we don't have to do anything over here, so I think this is fine. You can zoom in to see the result 100% and fit in view, and now we'll press OK, and you can see the difference. We have just made the basic editing and now we see it more clearly. We have now better image. Okay, and now let's remove all these spots from the face. So we'll use the spot healing brush and start painting wherever there is a problem on the face or over these spots. And if you see spots anywhere else, you can remove that as well. Alright, and now let's create one other layer and choose the stamp copy, change the mode to lighten and make sure the opacity around 30%. Zoom in, press Alt to take the sample from this area and paint on this area so that this area also becomes the lighten. And that way we can remove the dark circles under the eyes or the dark badges, or these are called the eye bags, so we can remove that as well using this technique. Okay, and here we have got some problems, so I think I need to go back. Yes, now it's fine, and let me paint in, and over here as well, and little bit over here on the nose. And now this one looks fine, and let's now smoothen out the skin, or let's remove little bit from here as well. So take the sample from this area and do it. Okay, now that's fine. Let's create a stamp copy. Ctrl Alt Shift E, go to the filter, select Nik Collection and select Color EFX Pro. And choose the dynamic skin softener from here and zoom in to 100% to see the result, and take the sample from the dark area, and now we have got this kind of result. So you can adjust all these sliders to get the result which you want. So you can adjust the small details, medium details and the large details. And this one is fine, so I can see the result by turning it on and off. Now we have got this kind of a result. I will press OK. Using the Nik Color EFX Pro is the easiest and the fastest way to retouch the skin, and now we have very smooth and lovely looking skin. Okay, and if you feel there is some problem, then you can again use the spot healing brush or spot healing tool and remove that part from the image. Okay, you just need to click once and it's going to take away that spot. And now let's add some spark to the eyes. So we'll create another layer, and with the white color, using the brush tool with soft as brush with 0 hardness, or let's increase the hardness a little bit, and let's create a shape. Okay, let me change the brush. Let me change this simple brush and increase the hardness, and let me create a shape of something like this, half circle, and on this side as well. Okay, and change the layer blend mode to overlay, or let's try screen. Screen is not looking good. Hard light is also not looking good, so we have to go for the overlay. And since it is very light, so we need to create a duplicate copy of it. So we'll press Ctrl J or Command J to have a duplicate copy of it. And now you can see these are the eyes, so let me group them together by pressing Ctrl J. So you can see now we have more spark in the eyes. And let's create a dosing and burning layer. So for that purpose, what we can do, let's go to the adjustment layer, select brightness and contrast, and increase the brightness to something like this. And now press Ctrl I to invert this layer, and again with the soft as brush, around 1%, 10% opacity, we are zooming in with the white color over here. We are going to paint on the highlighted part of the eyes, and that going to make that part dark light, and that way we'll be having more clear eyes. Okay, and you can even adjust its setting using the contrast as well. So let's add more contrast, select this layer mask and paint in little bit more. And now you can see we have more life in the eyes after this. And let's sculpt the face as well. So we'll create another similar brightness and contrast image. So we'll increase the brightness and we'll press Ctrl I and zoom in, and using the soft as brush once again will paint on the highlighted area. So wherever you see the light, start painting on that area. And what it is going to do, it is going to make that area light. And this is how we can sculpt the face. And on the lips as well, over here, on this side as well. And if you want, you can increase the opacity. So let's say 20% opacity, and let's paint in. And if you want, you can increase the opacity even further. So let's go for 50%. And now you can see the result by turning it on and off. Now we have more details in the face, and now we are going to create another adjustment layer, that is the brightness and contrast. And this time we are going to take away the brightness, something like this, and press Ctrl I or Command I to invert it. And now again with the softest brush with the white color, we are going to paint on the darker areas, and this time we'll have the opacity 10%. and paint wherever you see the dark area. Okay. And if you feel that you have overdone it, you can lower down the opacity and you can see the result by turning it on now. And now we have now better looking image. And what we are going to do, we are going to make the composition perfect, because at this time it's not good. So what we are going to do, we'll create a stamp copy of all of this. So we'll press Ctrl Alt Shift E, and then we will press C to have the access to crop tool, and we'll drag it here, or let's drag it something like this and increase it from this side as well, and press enter. And but you can see over here we have the blank pixels, so don't worry, we'll select the marquee selection tool, and alright, we'll make a selection of this area and we'll press Ctrl T or Command T and drag it on this side and press enter and Ctrl D, and this is how it's going to create this layer for us. And I think I have wrongly created this stamp copy under it, so let me just undo all these steps. Okay, now we have got this, so I'm going to create a stamp copy on the top of it. So I'll press Ctrl Alt Shift E and use the crop tool, drag it over here, increase it here, press enter using the crop tool, and then select the marquee selection from here and make a selection of this area, press Ctrl T and drag it over here and press enter, and it's going to fill it with this color. Alright, and now if you want, you can refine it a little bit further. So let me have a little bit more space on this side as well, and now this one is looking good, and press Ctrl L or Command L, and it's going to open up the levels adjustment, and then we can adjust the level, so we can control the brightness or contrast. Or what we can do, we can create another layer. So we'll create another, this time curves adjustment, and drag the highlights to the top, and that way we'll be having this more bright background on this side, and we have pure white background, but it is going to affect the girl as well. So for that purpose, we'll select this layer and use the brush tool. We'll increase the size, and with black color we are going to paint in over here. So now you can see we have painted, and this brightness or the curves brightness is not affecting the girl, it's only affecting the background now. Alright, and if you want, you can further color grade this image if you want. So what we can do, let's select a color balance adjustment layer and increase little bit redness and little bit yellow, and over here change to the shadows and add blue in the shadow, and adjust the sliders little bit and leave the highlights as it is, because we don't want to adjust the highlight. And now you can see the result by turning it on and off. We have made slightest of difference into this image. Okay, and we'll do the final sharpening to this image. So we'll press Ctrl Alt Shift E to create a duplicate copy of it, then go to the filter and then select sharpen and select unsharp mask and zoom in to see 100% what kind of a result we get. And let's increase the sharpening to something like this and press OK, and we'll create a mask, black mask, by holding Alt or Option. We can create a black mask, and this time again with the white brush we are going to paint on the eyes, and that way we will be having sharpening only on the eyes rather than on everything else or the entire image. And we'll paint over the eyebrows and lips as well, and if you want you can paint on the hairs as well. And this is our final result. We have done the simple editing on this image, and let me show you the starting image. So this was the starting image, and we have turned this image into something like this. So thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode, and if you do, please do let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any question, and if you want to share something with me, then you can leave that in the comment section as well. So thank you so much. Bye bye. See you in the next episode.